bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Lawin Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lawin Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lawin Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information.
And welcome to our, oh my gosh, pilot episode of Teacher Talk.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Teacher Talk live Chikahan with
Teacher Cora
and Dr. Clare. Hello. Of course. Ooh, I hear that sound. Before we start, I'm actually grabbing our tea. Grab your coffee, grab your tea sa mga taga-Pilipinas kasi it's
Go
now
ahead,
time.
guys.
Grab your milk, I guess. And then
they're ready to sleep.
Milk na. Pero I think you can also do the tea, right? The chamomile is really
there
good.
There you go. Ooh, it smells good.
Oh, I know.
There you go.
And I'll pour one for myself. And while I'm doing that, so Cora, tell me, how was your week?
Oh, wow. It was a hectic week for me. It is the start of the school year, before the children come. So the students come back to school. You have to come forward and, start moving on. We had our conversation with the group of teachers.
Wow.
I did training and presentation of our data. We had to fix the classroom and plan more for annotating the lesson.
Yes,
for next week.
PD
Okay?
is very, very important at beginning.
We have
of
a lot
the
of
year.
professional development lined up. In fact, where I come from, Houston ISD, we're having our convocation next week, and that is what we're waiting, and we're excited to have it.
Awesome.
The other ISDs have already started.
Yes. Aldi did their convocation.
Yes.
They did their
And
convocation.
I saw the convocation. Oh my God.
I
hope we could pass that glorious thing.
I know. It's
all
amazing.
These so good.
I know. It's always nice to have that, beginning of the year prep rally going on. Well, for me, my week was also it was exciting. So
How exciting.
It was
Tell me more.
first time. It was my first time to actually be in the ICPEL conference.
Wow.
It's the International Council of Professors in Educational Leadership in San Antonio.
Wow, you're in San
And the
Antonio.
one
Good.
thing is that this is a conference for, professors who are teaching the principal and the supervisory courses, the superintendency. And I just, again, hindi sa pagbubuhat ng bangko, just plainly speaking the truth, I was just really, touched and a bit emotional when I sat there and I said, I think I'm the only Filipino here, and an Asian at that. During the legend, the Living Legend Award that I was not awarded, but I participated in.
Well, that's a good accomplishment for us Filipinos. That's a good thing.
Yes. And before, so to all our viewers, of course, make sure that you share, because you can actually catch us live through Stream Lawin Media Live, and then the YouTube Live, the YouTube channel, the Facebook Live, and then Twitch. And we have other different streaming platforms that you can listen to. And this is also recorded, right? So if
they
you
could
did
watch
not,
it later.
yes, they can do that. All right. We have so many things in store for you because our topic for today, wow, we always start with a big bang, huh? Our topic for today is actually entitled Leader Ako Kase Filipino Ako. Of course, right? Leadership comes from us being Filipinos, and we cannot just keep talking about the great things that we are doing in the community. So now we actually have three guest school and district leaders who will be joining us in our conversation. So let's get started. Who's our first guest?
Our first guest today is Mr. Paul Carampatan. Now, let me tell you a little bit of our guest today. Paul started as a math teacher at Klein Forest High School. Shout out for Klein Forest people there. He was named as Klein Forest Outstanding Teacher of the Year 2014. He eventually moved into an administrative position in Spring ISD, where he served as the assistant principal at Spring High School. Then he was promoted to the associate principal of Bailey Middle School before coming the head principal of Dewitt Middle School. You see that?
Oh, wow.
Now, he was then named as transitioned to the role of Director of Student Affairs at Spring ISD before becoming, watch this, the Director of School Administration as his current position in Aldine ISD. So without further ado, guys, please meet one of the best Filipino leader in Houston. Let's welcome Mr. Paul Carampatan.
Yay! Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
What's going on, Paul? What's going on?
Oh, we're living the dream. It's all good. Everything's good. Waking up with the little kids, but everything is great.
Awesome. I love that. I love living the dream, right? I love it. All right. So let me get started now introducing our next panelist, our next guest. So he is a graduate of UP Diliman and graduated in 2003. Whoop, whoop.
UP.
Yeah. With a Bachelor of Arts in History. He started teaching in 2005 at Harris Academy as a kindergarten ESL teacher. And then he eventually became an interventionist and specialist at Jones Primary from 2013 to 2015. And then he became an assistant principal at Harris Elementary from 2015 to 2019 before going into his current position, which is now a school principal at Harris Elementary. So he has been working in Aldine ISD since 2005. So without further ado, let me introduce our next guest, Mr. Nelson Dionisio. Hello. All right.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Nice to be here. Nice to see you all.
Oh, and it's also it's an honor to have you here, Mr. Dionisio. Thank you so much for allowing us to invite you be here. And of course, for our viewers and our listeners to be able to hear, what you can impart to us about, being a Filipino, the journey that you had, and actually becoming also that awesome leader, in the school. So thank you again.
Thank you, Claire.
Yes.
We have another leader, she is the only rose among the thorns of our guest today. Let me give you a little information about our next guest, okay? She is Dr. Gelyn Roble, is the science coordinator for elementary and intermediate schools in the Alif Independent School District. Hello, Alif people. She also serves as adjutant professor at the University of Houston, Clear Lake. Dr. Roble's research centers on finding better ways to support scientific literacy and STEM education for all students. She focuses on using a variety of teaching methods to remove any barriers to learning, to give all students equal opportunities to succeed. She has presented her work in inclusive teaching, curriculum design, and assessment practices. Wow, that's tough.
I know, a lot. She did.
Filipino, okay. She presented all of this assessment in local and statewide, okay, and national level. She was the recipient of the 2014 Science Teacher Association of Texas Distinguished Leadership. Okay. My dear guest, let us all welcome Dr. Gelyn Roble.
Yay! Hello. Good
Hi. Oh, I'm losing my voice. I've used up my voice like the whole week. Hi, everyone. Good morning or good night or good evening in the Philippines. And I'm from Cebu, so I have to say maayong gabi to everyone who are listening to us from the Cebu and the Visayas and Mindanao region. So I'm glad
Yay! Thank you. Yes. Oo, may gabi mga Cebuana ni, no? Hello, Gelyn and Dr. Roble.
Hi,
Paul also says another Bisaya, ha?
Ugnay mga Bisaya og Ilonggo, may Ilonggo.
I know, may gabi.
back to our roots. Back to our roots.
Oh, magandang gabi. Mr. Dionisio, saan ka sa atin? Where were you?
I'm from Bulacan.
Okay. So it's a Luzon area.
Tagalog.
All right.
So those people from Bulacan, you go ahead and chat, make a conversation, make an engagement, shout out. You have a representative right here, outstanding Filipino leaders here in Houston.
Of course, we want to make sure that our audience stay engaged. Give us a shout out. If you have any questions also to our guest and even to Mom Cora or myself, go ahead, please stay engaged with us. So let's get this conversation started. And I know that we wanted to talk about, their background, but we kind of gave it already, right? From our the questions from the introductions that we did. So let me go ahead and just probably ask, right, to our guests. We already know about your educational career. How was the journey? How did you find that journey? Was it a hard journey? Talk to us about getting into the position that you are in. So I'll probably go ahead and get Mr. Carampatan to start us. Mr. Carampatan to start us with that question. How was the journey?
Oh, so if you're talking about the journey from where I started out from college, right? Well, first of all, I never in a million years dreamt to be a teacher. I did not go to school to be a teacher. That's number one. So those that are thinking that are in a different field, you could always do a teaching. And there's one thing that I'm going to say, right? If that is your passion, you could have been like, I really went to school for computer science, computer information system. And so, but then one day I just said, hey, you know what? I told my mom, and my mom was like, what do you want to do? I said, I hate writing programs. I hate going to Exxon downtown driving. And so I said, so what do you want to do? I said, I actually kind of want to teach. So I said, what am I going to do? Right. So at that time, it was just a timing and opportunity type of situation because that was a shortage time. So remember, there was a time in Texas where people were retiring so fast because trying to close the loophole. Right. And so they were retiring. They needed teachers. And sure enough, I literally just walked in at M.O. Campbell because they had a job fair. I was driving. They had a job fair. God. And I said, what do I need? And they said, you need an alternative certification. And that's all you need. And so I said, is that all? I said, yeah, but what are you going to teach? I said, math, because I was a math tutor in college. So they literally just said, Client 4 said, whoever's math in here, raise, come over here. I went that way and I talked to them and I said, here's what you need. So they obviously have to interview you, right? And then they gauge you from there. And then they said, hey, if you have the certification. So what I did was I went to Kingwood College, took my
Mhm.
classes while I was doing whatever I need to do, and then in literally 3 months, I got my certification to teach. It was a certified. So I say all that to say I became a math teacher and I love doing it, right? And people ask me all the time, then why teaching? I'll be honest
Yes.
with you. The first part was June, July, August.
Yeah.
That was the best part.
That's the crucial part.
Yes. But no, in all seriousness though, I already had a passion for teaching, to
Mhm.
educate. I just didn't know where it was. When I started teaching,
Yes.
especially in a low socioeconomic
Mhm.
environment,
That's
that
true.
gave me the most. That gave me the most. I would hate to say the most reason to do what I needed to do. So
Awesome.
that becoming that, and then got an opportunity to go to, as I mentioned a while ago, opportunity to go to Spring. Uh,
Mhm.
became an assistant principal there. It was relatively easy, and here's why: because if people already know your work
Mhm.
prior to, it's not hard to get to where you need to
Yes.
go because
There you
they'll
go.
search you, they'll find you, and they'll ask you, "Hey, I got a position for you here. You'll be perfect because you've done X, Y, and Z in your previous position."
Yes.
So I say that to everybody all the time: is every day is interview day. Wherever you
Yes.
go is interview day. So don't play pretend because they'll sniff out the fluff.
Wow,
So
this is
Okay.
just the beginning part of our segment, and we are already having this great conversation.
Yeah.
But I think this is now the time where we have to pause for some break. We'll be right back, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in a few. And we are back. But before we actually ask our other guests about that question that we kind of asked Paul, I think we have a very special message from someone. So let's watch this VTR.
Hello, this is Jaya. Surprise! I just wanted to say congratulations sa inyong dalawa, Ma'am Cora and Dr. Clare. Sis, congratulations sa inyong bagong online program na pinamagatang Teacher Talk, Live Chikahan with Ma'am Cora and Dr. Clare. And this is going to be online. They'll tell you everything about it, kung saan ninyo sila mapapanood at kung ano-ano yung mga pag-uusapan at tatalakayin in their program. Of course, I just wish the both of you all the best. Congratulations and God bless your program. At sa lahat ng mga manunood, sana ay talagang sumubaybay sila sa programa ninyo. Marami po tayong lahat matututunan. And this is produced with Lawin Media Houston. So, congratulations sa inyo. And speaking of Houston, I will be having my first concert in a while. Medyo matagal na rin akong hindi nagpa-perform sa Houston. So, I'd like to invite everyone, August 17, Jaya Live in Houston, and this is going to happen at the Willow River Church in Houston. For more details, just go online sa Instagram at Facebook page ko, and makikita ninyo lahat ng detalye for ticket and venue details. So this is going to be August 17, Houston. Punta kayo sa Instagram or Facebook ko, and lahat pwede nyong malaman doon. Please, 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 magsanib puwersa po tayo, and maraming salamat again sa Paddock Entertainment and kay Marlo Colina of MC Aesthetics, and sa lahat ng mga special guests for the support and for joining me on in this concert. So, August 17, Jaya Live in Houston, and then syempre Teacher Talk Live, Chikahan with Ma'am Cora and Dr. Clare. Panoorin po ninyo yan. Support, support, support. Thank you. God bless all of you. Mwah.
Yay! Thank you so much. That was actually Jaya, not just the Philippines Queen of Soul, Asia's Queen of Soul. Sis, salamat. And I can see that. So please, again, support our very own Asia's Queen of Soul, Jaya. She will have a concert August 17. And of course, just a little,
You're gonna be there, right?
I will be there. And I will actually be doing an opening act for Jaya. So another venue also to showcase, right? Our Filipino
How
talent.
talented you are.
Of course, right?
Yes.
We are inviting everybody to come and join us.
Yes.
Jaya also is a big supporter of Teacher Group here in Houston.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
And in fact,
Jaya.
Safe Houston EP is also one of the sponsors for that upcoming concert. So let's get back to the conversation. This time, let's have, we just want to acknowledge our audience who's actively with us right now. Hello, Miss MJ Versosa Concepcion, of course, Miss MJ.
Watching.
Hello, Teacher Cora and Dr. Clare. Thank you. We have Hazel Gloria watching from Valentine, Texas.
Yes.
Oh,
We have also Roger Kalima.
I know.
Hi, Roger.
It's,
Thank
hi
you for watching.
Yeah, it says here. Okay, hi, Ma'am Cora.
Yeah.
I'm Cora Flores. Roger. Okay.
Yeah, Roger is from Energized Excellence Academy.
Yes.
Hi there.
All right. Who else do we have? Okay.
Just keep on coming,
yes, and we will keep acknowledging you guys. So let's go ahead. I think this time let me throw that question to Dr. Roble. So how was the journey? Talk to us, about your journey.
So much my voice. I really have to find my voice on weekends. Much like Paul, I did not set out to be a teacher. So it's very interesting. But I've always been interested in learning, in cognition, in how people behave, what drove the things that they do, what motivated people. So, which really explains why I took up psychology as my undergraduate, and then I also back home in the Philippines, in Cebu, University of San Carlos to be in particular, I trained with the facilitator circle, and then I felt like it has always been in my DNA to train, facilitate. So I found so much joy in that. Now, I also taught in the Philippines. I taught kindergarten, at the Center for International Education, and then undergraduate in Baguio, University of Baguio. But then it happened. I came to the States in 1999 for personal reasons, and I work at the bank, and I was just it paid the bills. This is good, but I'm there was just not, that fire that you want to wake up to every day.
Yes.
And so I decided to complete my teacher certification. I took literacy and human development at the State University of New York, Binghamton. So that's where I think that's where I found my passion in literacy and in my social justice classes, that generational poverty, that illiteracy, it's not just a third world problem, it's a global issue. And so I wanted to teach. I worked as an Even Start educator while to school, and as an Even Start educator, I worked with students in first and second grade who are reading below grade level, but if their parents didn't earn their high school diploma, I was helping them earn their GED. So the whole thing about generational poverty, the whole thing about let's meet the needs of the kids, but then also meet the needs of the adults, because if we do that together, then we can really I guess like move the bar forward faster. I guess like when you think about getting out of that cycle. So that is really what fired me up, and I just stayed on that track of like teaching, and I was actually hired. Oh my gosh, I can't. I have to think back. I started when I was 11. So let me just put it out there. I'm not that old. I can't think of like years, but I was actually via phone. Was it via phone? No, I have to think about it. No, I attended, much like Paul. It was like I walked into a teacher fair at SUNY in Albany, and I just walked in there. A-Leaf was there, and lady, like in her Texas accent, held my hand, and she was like, "Would you like to come to Texas and like interview and like work with us?" And so I did, like May of, I think 2001. I don't know. I think so. And then I interviewed with this really, I didn't think she was Filipina. I just like found out when she made me biko, that I realized she was this lady like making like cakes, and like it's like from the Philippines, but she saw potential in me, and I just like, she's also the reason why I'm in leadership. So my educational journey was sort of like, it was always within me, and someone saw my potential. I stayed on with it. I stood grounded, focused, and I just kept. So I'm still in it. So
I
the
love that. I love that. I really like when you talked about that generational poverty, right? And when we talk about social mobility, education is really the key, right? And I think it goes back to our Filipino roots, right? Because we always, I think all of us Filipinos, and I think it's even in the Asian, right? That, you know, our parents would always tell us the only mapapamana namin sa inyo, the only thing we can,
Education.
yes, we can provide for you is education. You know, we may not have a lot, we don't have all the, you know, we don't have estates that, you know, that you can inherit from us, but it's your education. And I think it's coming from that same passion, right? That we saw what education can do for us. So I really love that piece that you talked about. Mr. Dionisio, yeah. So
Let's hear it from
yes.
Mr. Dionisio. How's the journey, sir?
So it's a little bit different from me. I came from a family of teachers. My parents
Oh,
were educators for more than 30 years in the Philippines, right? So, but going to the university, I thought, I would be like an engineer or, even law at a later point in time. But then, volunteering in different organizations led me to being involved with adult literacy. So during that time, my goal was to be a professor in the university. So, but then, you have family, and then my wife was recruited from the Philippines to go here to the States to teach. She's a special education teacher. So, to keep the family whole, to keep the family intact, we decided, as a family, we will go. And then my family is also going, my side of the family is also migrating, and her family is also here. So we decided, this is the way to go. In 2005, I took ACP from Region 4.
Okay.
Uh, and the only at that time I told myself I will only teach either kindergarten, the youngest of young, or the oldest of older. I just want either an elementary, primary kids, or if I'm going to teach in a K-12 position, I'm going to teach high school, or I'm going to teach college. So, but here you need to wait for and work for your opportunities. Opportunities
right.
won't come to you. You have to, you have to find it. You have to create your own path. But at the same time, there will be opportunities, and there will be, timing situations that will allow you to, sort of uh, get into that opportunity. The challenge now is how to make the most of those opportunities. I think, since my first day of teaching, my goal is to represent, right? Represent not just my family, but represent our culture, represent
Right.
Filipino people. There are people, or there are educators in Aldin already, Filipino educators that have shown our work ethic, how we are so dedicated to our job. So it helped me, it made it easier for me. I think, I don't know if Dr. Clare was there already in Aldin at that time, but somehow, some way, the principals that I worked with either knew someone or worked with someone that knows our work ethic or is really proud of having a Filipino in their staff. Now, leadership position, I really didn't aspire for it. I was just, I'm content with being in the classroom, doing the best with the 20 or 25 students that I have. But at the same time, there will be people that, see you, just like what Paul said, they will see you, they will know you. You don't have to talk. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to put yourself out there. Your work will put yourself there. Right? So I think, one of my principals at Jones, she told me, I'm sending you here. You're going to an interview. Just prepare your resume and just, be yourself.
Yes.
And I don't know what that interview was.
Oh, wow.
It was an Aldin cohort in Sam Houston at that time. It was a leadership cohort. So I said, okay, since I will have some, grants with it, why not? My wife is taking her master's at that time at Sam Houston as well, to be a diagnostician. So, you know how it is, let's just do it, see where it goes. And then after I graduated, I think that's when I saw, the possibilities and opportunities that, you're now impacting not just 25 students, but a whole school of students.
Right.
And the adults that you're doing.
Yes. I really love the point that you made, right, about coming from the place of humility, right? Let my work do the talking. And I think it's really one of those qualities, that we have as Filipinos, right? Sometimes we really don't want to, get out there and just, show them, with our mouth, right? Not just talk the talk, but really walk the talk. And that I also love the point that you talked about, how past, how those that are already there, provide a pathway for us because, seeing the work ethics that we have, and you all three, right?
Exactly.
You are now actually in that position of opening up doors for our other, upcoming Filipino leaders to be out there. Guess what? It's already, can you imagine? It's already time for our next break. So
before we go on a break, I just want to say that this is the reason why we did this podcast for everybody in the community to see who are these people who have been in the forefront of education here in Texas. In our community, very seldom knows what are the things that you have been doing in your own field. Second, what impact are we giving and contributing to our society today? And here we are. This is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, Filipino leaders. We have more. And you all come and stay with us. We will introduce them to you. Maybe we're going to have second part of this.
Oh, definitely.
And this is now the time to rule. There you go.
All right.
So we're going to have a break. And then after that, we're going to continue talking and asking our guests today to exemplify more of their work and their contribution to our community.
All
okay?
Right. See you.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
And we're back,
All
guys.
right. Hello.
We're back.
Yes, let's have some shout outs. Happy Saturday morning, everyone. It's great to see and hear from our awesome educators. Your hard work and dedication means so much to us. Oh, thank you so much, attorney.
Thank
Eileen
you.
Ligot Dizon. Thank you, attorney, for that. Appreciate you. And watching from the Philippines. Hello, Dr. Clare. Thank you, Maria Shelo Calvo. Thank you for watching. And
we have MJ Concepcion. Indeed, amazing stories and teachers, leaders. Salute!
I salute
all of you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, MJ. Mildred, we have Mildred Molito. Wow, mabuhay ang gurong Filipino.
Yes.
Thank you, Mildred. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go on and continue asking our special guest today. Let me focus on Dr. Roble. Dr. Roble, you have an advocacy for women in STEM. Am I right? Okay. Now, my question is, how have you advocated for the advancement of more girls going to the STEM program in your district?
Okay, thank you for that wonderful question. I feel like I'm like a Miss Universe contestant. I really want to address anything and everything that this question holds. So if you don't mind, the teacher that I am, I prepared, I had my lesson plan, I made my notes and all of that. So if you don't mind me reading, I promise you it's like 3 minutes long. I'm not going to make you fall asleep. And I need like audience participation in this, like panelists. Ready? Okay. So when I say science, you say rocks. Science?
Rocks.
Science?
Rocks.
Okay, so with that said, just so you know, if you don't or did not, science is the S in STEM. So often I'm asked, why focus on girls or women in STEM? My usual or academic response is, research shows that if you don't introduce girls to STEM early on, you will lose their interest. While this statement is based on research, my passion for programs supporting girls in STEM goes deeper. I want girls to realize it's okay to break the mold, to defy expectations. Growing up, and I don't know which era you grew up in, but I often heard, you're a girl, so you should be this or that, do this, but not that. So I cringed every time I heard this, but never really knew how to react or respond. Blue is for boys, pink is for girls. Men are expected to be strong and independent, but not so much women. I just knew deep down that did not make sense. Something was off. So girls in engineering, girls who code, girls in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which is, by the way, what STEM stands for. Why not? Girls excel in science and math. Girls are problem solvers, creative thinkers. We are resourceful, we are persistent, great at time management and project management as well. So why do I advocate for women in STEM, for girls in STEM? In a predominantly male industry like STEM, it's critical, it's important, it's crucial to build a solid foundation and offer various opportunities for girls to get involved and to be confident in problem and project-based learning. So we as a system, and I'm talking the educational system, must recognize that failure is part of the process. And we have to be okay with that. We can't let perfect be the enemy of good. We have to create environments that allow girls, really all kids, to thrive in STEM. And so we give women opportunities to pursue and thrive in STEM careers. It helps narrow the gender pay gap. It improves women's financial security. It ensures a diverse and talented STEM workforce, and it eliminates more than anything biases and stereotypes in STEM fields. Yes. So with that said, how have I advocated for STEM? In every possible way.
Right.
Well said. Yes, in every possible way. So when advocating, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So when advocating for STEM, it's important to know players, your allies, your champions, your ambassadors. I thrive in community partnerships like this. What did Jaya say? Magsani puwersa, right? Yeah, that's what she said. So I thrive in community partnerships and the collective genius of a team. So in A-Leaf, we have an amazing team. I have an amazing team. I'm part of a really supportive team. So we have strong partnerships with public, private, and nonprofit organizations. including colleges and universities. So since 2013, I've worked very closely with Girl Start. Look them up. Girl Start's mission is to increase girls' interest and engagement in STEM. So we started an after-school program for girls in A-Leaf with only 2 schools on board, and that was in 2013. Now we have it in 15 of our elementary schools, and we have more. So the hope is to have it at all. We host STEM nights and summer STEM camps, inviting parents, the community, to see their kids, our kids, in action. So this is part of my leadership commitment, of our team's commitment to engaging the community and to making STEM an integral part of our identity and mission. So, and
That is just amazing. You are doing so many things for for your community, and I think I really like the idea that you said, that bridging that gap. And when you talk about, in fact, research would tell us, right, that women are always outperforming, or girls are always outperforming boys in English language arts, and then boys always outperform girls in the math and in that STEM field. But what I love is that now that your advocacy for it actually allows us to be able to bridge that gap. You are doing amazing things at A-Leaf, and we are just so proud of you.
And to add to that, Dr. Bean, here's the thing. Our community is now listening to you. They heard it, meaning to say this is an inspiration to all of the parents that we have now, especially Filipino parents who are now having their kids moving to high school, middle school, high school, and to college.
Yes.
You are an inspiration to them. And you gave us a huge architectural design on how our students, our kids will be successful in the fields of science. Gracias, señora.
Thank
Gelyn.
you. Of course. Thank you.
Why isa pa yan?
So let me now address this next question to our next guest, Mr. Dionisio. So as a school principal, what do you think is the most pressing concern in today's education, specifically in Texas?
I think there are several layers to it, right? We can go to the community level where, because our parents, I work in a Title I district, my students are basically categorized are 97% economically disadvantaged. So the challenge for the parents to be engaged in the academic activities, the actual academic learning, right, process of the student, they're hard pressed to be engaged even if they want to, because they need to provide for their families. And so my goal and my understanding of my role is that we will do what we can do inside the school, right, to provide the best opportunity, the best educational opportunity for our students. On the social level, that attack in public education is so real, right? We can dismiss it, we can ignore it, but we will feel it in different types of way. So funding for public education is crucial. That's why you can see all around how many staff members are being cut, or how many schools are closing, and and that just extends or worsens the fact that our teachers, our educators are under appreciated financially, and even the standing in the society is not the same anymore, right? If you grew up in the Philippines, that your teachers, we treat them as your second parents, right? But here it's like, because of the attack from different angles, from different sectors of society and political forces, we are, sometimes thought of as just a caretaker of their kids, right? And we have to be responsible for everything that their kid does or that can't do, right? So those interplay of factors, the societal factors and the economic factors, really just makes it harder for schools to do what it needs to do for students. If we have more funding, if we have more access to resources, especially for Title I funds, closing the gap, the gender gap, the social economic status gaps, and just the access to opportunities and pathways for our students, right? That's why I'm so fortunate that I work in a district and in a campus where we find ways. We find ways to close those opportunities. Uh, Societal issues cannot be solved overnight. So what do? You make the best of what you have, and that's where we're good at. Filipinos are so good at making do with what we have and extending it as much as we can. Right? We grew that life. We're growing that. We're living that life. So we just extend it to our roles. So you know. Uh, those challenges, and then you have those, unnecessary state assessments that, we don't really know what it's for. We know what it's for, but it doesn't really do any good for our students or for our educators.
I really love the things that you talked about, right? The one would be that parent partnership that you talked about, especially in a Title I campus, understanding, right, that although we focus, academics is the focus, but for these families, the focus is putting food on the table. And so how am I, I'm going to be supporting my child. You want me to sit here and be able to provide that support, but I have to go out and do the job. But then you segued into saying that the beautiful thing about being Filipinos is that maparaan tayo. We find a way, and that's the reason why you guys are leaders as you are, and in the positions that you are, because you find that way. You see the challenge. Yes, there are a lot of societal factors, yet you stick to the goal. And again, that relationship piece, we're very relational, and you know how to move that community.
And that's why I think it's crucial for us to find ways. Like it's either you go through it or you go around it. Just go to that spot that you needed to go for your students and for the community. So that the community partnerships. I'm not from I'm not from here. I'm not from the area, but I know the area. So I try to find, I try to, put out myself out there so I can create partnerships in the community to provide resources for my students, for my families.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I know Paul has something to say, but we're actually at that point now that we need to pause for a break. So when we come back, Paul, we're going to come back to you. All right.
You're fine. I was going to piggyback, but you're good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
All right, we're back.
So we left with
Paul.
Paul, would you like to share?
No, I was just going to say whatever Mr. Dionisio said is really, and it was probably going to segue to the conversation next, but that's fine. You're good. It's perfect. It's
okay. Thank you so much. So we're going to ask you, Paul, being a support director, how do you support the campuses in your role as the director of school administration? How does it look like?
How does it look like? So pretty much, you have to accept this fact. When when the campuses, your teachers, you're gonna have mga teachers and everybody else, if they say, "Oh, the district said this," 9 out of 10 times it's coming from our office. So we are really the district. Our support team is really the district. When we have all these conversations, and like what Mr. Dionisio said, right? The funding is a real problem, but then our office, and this year alone, and we're gonna toot our horn and Aldine, this year alone we increased for all those at the ADA by almost 1.3% at 58,000 students. That's a big increase for that. So when we are talking about funding, so that's a big part. So I say all that to say that our office really supports the needs of the campus. In a nutshell, basically, it's this: whatever it is that the campuses need in order to make it easy for them to be able to do the thing that is really the most important, which is to educate the kids. So we try to make it as easy as possible, make systems efficient, make systems effective, or sometimes create systems for them
That's
that
right.
will allow them to do the work that really needs to be done, which is to educate the kiddos. Because sometimes if you are in a campus and you don't have proper systems, how can you educate your kids properly if you don't even know how to process who's absent, who's this, who's that? So that is the role that my office has really taken on, is that we are giving them and Mr. Dionisio could tell this. So we give them processes right down to the detail of what needs to be done.
Okay.
Awesome. We're now actually in the last, actually 10
Last
minutes.
day.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? So before we actually address to you with our next question, let's just give some shout out to all of our audience who are here, so let's give a shout out to, let me just read this. I hope it can flash on the screen, but let me just read right here from Isabel Villanueva Salter. Way to go, Filipino teachers. We have another shout out from Roger Caligma.
Happy to watch and listen to all these inspiring kababayan.
Love it.
Thank you.
Isabel Villanueva. Yeah, we have to debunk gender stereotypes. Yes, that was a conversation from Dr. Roble. And
John,
John,
mabuhay ang mga gurong Filipino.
Yay, thank you, John. Who else? Oh, we have Jewel Bacani. The show is very inspirational. Thank you. Congratulations.
That's the goal.
We love it. Of course, our guests are amazing. And their stories are just purely an inspiration. Isabel Villanueva, again, ALIF is in need of certified teachers. All right.
We do.
All right.
Okay, so we have Annalene by Lon Makalalat. We have different kinds of commitment when it comes to our chosen vocation. That's right. Teaching is not a profession, y'all. It's a vocation, and you heard it from our guest right now. It is indeed a vocation.
It is.
Thank you, Annalene.
Yes, and from Luz Pineda Quezon, watching from Houston, Texas. Hello, Miss Luz. And we have
Vanessa Dabon.
Yes.
Good morning po. Watching for the first time here in San Antonio, Texas. Do we have anything from Fort Worth?
All right. From Neil Divina Gracia. Yay. Kudos to all Filipino teachers. You make us proud. Thank you, Neil, for that shout out.
Thank you.
All right. And who else we have? And finally, we have
Marge Marfield. Good morning, watching from Houston, Texas.
Wow, I just love that our audience are actually engaging and participating. We now come to the final leg. I think there should be a second round for this.
Yes.
We've invited amazing, leaders, and they just impart so much knowledge. So our final question to our guest here is, what is one message you would like to impart to Filipino teachers in the field and to other aspiring educational leaders? Let me go ahead and ask Dr. Roble to answer first that question.
Short and sweet.
I know, right? I feel this is a very taxing profession. It takes a whole lot, like mentally, physically, all of that. So I just want our teachers to take care of themselves. Like, let's take care of ourselves as educators. We have to set boundaries, know when to say no, and know also when to say yes, like set our priorities. So I think in totality, like take care of yourself. Let's take care of ourselves. Then that way we have so much more to give, or we can give so much more.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. I think just piggybacking also a big piece is the social emotional learning that we give. We have to have it for ourselves too. Thank you. Let's throw that same question, Mr. Dionisio.
So I think it's really about being conscious and being aware that we're impacting, not just that student at that moment in time, but we're impacting students for, years to come, right?
Mhm.
At the same time, when we do our best impacting students' lives, we're impacting our students too. I told this, I shared this with the district before when we welcomed J1 teachers from the Philippines and other countries. I said, this opportunity provides us to impact students' lives, but it also impacts our lives, you know, the kids that we have or the relatives that we have. It gives us opportunity to have what we have, what we can have, right? That's why we need to take care. We need to put what we can put in, but at the same time, you be conscious of, you're representing not just yourself, not just your family, but your culture as well. So,
That's right. Very well said. Very well
Yes.
said.
Yes.
Good job. Okay. Can I have our last statement, please, Mr.
So,
Paul?
so I always gonna say this, and I always repeat this: is that everything that you do, whatever it is that we do, you always want to anchor your work to your why. Once you have your why, you'll always be okay. And then, and I tell this to my teachers all the time when I was in the campus, is this, is that I always ask myself a question, and you as teachers can always ask yourself this question: will I send my own child to this campus that I'm working on? Will I put my own child in this classroom I'm going to be teaching it? If your answer is yes to those, you're fine. If the answer is no, you have some work to do. That's all I got to say. And, we are blessed and we're here to support and help.
I know. Thank you.
Wow,
Thank you.
very inspiring.
I know.
We learned a lot from you all, and with all those statements that you provided us, we are ready to go. We
Yes.
are ready to commit, although we are already committed, but we want to step higher than that. Okay.
And I
We're
think
all in.
back on
Yeah.
what Mr. Dionisio said, that the representation, not you're not just representing yourself, you're representing your culture, and it's really going back to circling back to these leaders that we have here. They are now on a pedestal, right? And then there's a spotlight given to Dr. Roble, Mr. Carampatan, Mr. Dionisio, because the work that they do impacts the future Filipino leaders who will soon be in these positions, right? And as they say, the doors open. It's going to be easier for those coming in because of the work that is done by those in the previous. Yes,
And
Mr.
Dr.
Karen?
So just to let you, I did speak to our HR guy, an Aldine, and they have nothing but great things to say about all the Filipinos that they have for J1, for the H1B, whatever, all the recruits that they have. I have yet to hear somebody say, man, that one was trash. It was always, man, we need more of these. We need more of your people. Basically, all they're saying is that we need more of your people.
I like what you said, Paul. Well, it is because Aldine ISD would like to focus on J1 teachers. In
Yes.
fact, there is a school, half of them are already Filipinos. I was telling them, maybe we could create a school with all staff enrolled by Filipino teachers.
Exactly.
And then they said, it's coming soon.
I know. And then one of the things, I just want to go back. As a previous school principal, I was able to turn around my school. And one of the things that, made it happen was, of course, I had Filipinos who drove that. There's one comment that we would like to read, and this is coming from Vanessa Dabon. She said, I'd like to know more about the education here in the U.S., particularly in Texas. It's my first time here and everything is still overwhelming. I'm glad to be able to bump your page today. I want to learn more from you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts today. I'm looking forward to the next session. Maraming salamat po. God bless.
That said, next session, I am inviting you all because next session we are going to dive into the journey of our J1 teachers.
And
We're going to put batch 1, batch 2, and batch 3 groups of J1 teachers. They will be coming on our next issue. Okay,
yes,
next
episode. It's
so
actually,
watch
it's
out.
Coming to America, the J1 stories. So that's going to be an exciting time. Let's give another shout out. Roger Caligma, I love the take care of yourself so that you can give what you are supposed to give. The question is, I will put my own kid in this school or my classroom. We represent our culture. Those were the pieces that were shared by our guests.
Roger.
So yeah. And again, this has been a very, very exciting time. Thank you. What better way? Wow, Ma'am Cora, what better way to start our pilot episode with these amazing leaders. I know we barely had time, but I want to thank you all for being here. Yeah. We are looking forward to a part 2 because more conversations need to be had. Again, thank you. Dr. Gelyn Roble from A-Leaf ISD and from Aldine ISD, Mr. Paul Carampatan and Mr. Norman Dionisio. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom.
Yes.
Thank you for your leadership. You represented a great Filipino educator.
Yes.
Saludo ko sa inyong lahat. Salamat!
Mabuhay ang mga Pilipinong guro at mga leader. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this actually wraps up our episode for today of Teacher Talk Live Chikahan with
Mom Cora
and Dr. Clare. And we hope to see you in our next episode again, same time, 9 o'clock Central Time. And that's going to be around 10 p.m., right? In the Philippines. We look forward to seeing you. So looking forward, everyone. Thank you again. We appreciate you. God bless.
Be safe, y'all. Have a nice weekend.